Welcome to another exciting episode of Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Product Reviews. I'm Steve Gamache, and this time we are looking at the Konosuke Fujiyama series, which is an awesome series of knives. Their white number 2 Nakiri 180 millimeter knife. And this line of knives is been around Chef Knives to Go quite a while, and these just have a almost cult following. Their Fujiyama series are very high fit and finish, very consistently high quality knives, great blacksmithing, just an awesome performance. So let's take a look at the specifics. So this line has the core steel is Shidogami, our white paper number 2 Hitachi reactive carbon steel. The heat treat on that core steel is about 61 to 62 Rockwell. And the construction on these is an iron reactive cladding. So it's a soft iron cladding on either side of that core steel for a 3-layer sandwich. And so the entire blade is reactive. There's no stainless or anything on this knife. The weight on the knife is 147 grams or 5.1 ounces. And these are pretty consistent since the quality control is so high, but you'll occasionally get variation on these weights and dimensions per knife. But blade length on this one's about 170 on the edge, and then the overall length around 12.6 inches. The spine thickness on this sample coming out of the handle above the back of the blade at the heel here is about 2.6 millimeters. And this one maintains that thickness most of the way and thins out just a tad towards the end of the top of the blade. And the blade height on this was a pretty consistent 49.5 millimeters across the width of the knife, or the length of the knife this way. And the handle type on these, they're putting on the ones he's carrying now. It's kind of a basic octagonal hoe wood buffalo horn ferrule. Nothing super fancy. It's a fairly light handle, so that does throw the weight balance a little bit forward versus some of the ebony style handles that they used to carry. So these are a little bit lighter. If you got your own customized handle, which these knives are completely worth it, then you could customize your weight balance, based on the materials and such of the handle. Circumference on the handle is about 3 inches right here where the ferrule meets the wood. Pretty standard size. And let's take a close-up look at this blade. These things are just, I love pulling one of these out of the box. As anytime you get a Konosuke knife that's a Fujiyama series, you're just in for a treat right out of the box, and these are totally no exception. They've got a nice embossed kanji and mark on there for the Shidogami number 2. And great fit and finish. The spine is actually polished to the point where they've actually got a little bit of a bevel on it. It's not even just a light curvature. It's almost a bevel on each side. Nicely polished. The back of the blade, the choil, is really nicely done and very rounded and polished. So super comfortable right out of the box. Out of the box edge, that's not what they really do with these. So they put an edge on it, but I'll give this a 4 out of 10 maybe. These are really meant to put your own edge on them, so you're expected to do that. So if you're going to buy one of these knives, you either should know how to sharpen or you need to have a good resource that knows how to deal with a quality Japanese knife on waterstones and so on. So with that out of the way, again, fit and finish is great. The way they've got the finish on it, it's a longitudinal finish, so the brush strokes are this way on the blade instead of a standard kind of belt finish that goes this way. So when you wipe the blade, clean and such and dry it, you're tending to go this way, which helps any kind of scratches that might occur blend in a little bit better. So it's a nice way to kind of hide those scratches a little bit. Here's your handle. Fit and finish is good on the install. I always still like to put a little epoxy or wax or something on that area to seal that up so I don't get any moisture on the tang, especially since these are all reactive blades. The grind on these is just excellent. The different series have different styles of grinds, and from what I've seen on the Shidogami number 2 line, the knives I've seen, the grind is a little bit lower than on the blue number 2 and the white number 1, and so it's not as low as this kind of line here where you see the cladding start to show through into the core steel. But the grind on this is kind of in this area right here, so it's not way up here. It's a little bit lower on these, which will give you a little bit better food separation than a higher grind, at the expense of maybe of just a touch of wedging, but these will get really nice and thin at the edge. The performance on these is really super, and they do just a beautiful job on the grind on these things. Let's take a look at the balance point. Back off my focus a little bit here. So balance point, just about right there. Pretty close to a pinch grip. Maybe just a touch in front, but really close. And on the board, here's your profile. These will vary just a tad, knife to knife, because every knife is handmade, but you can see pretty flat profile with just a touch of belly to it. And of course, you've got the rounded tip, so you could do a little bit of low rocking with this if you want to on shorter product. So, gorgeous knife, great steel, legendary heat treatment. These will just get so stinking sharp and are just a joy to sharpen. They require some maintenance and diligence because they are all reactive, and the iron cladding can be a bit on the reactive side until you get a bit of a patina or get it to settle down a little bit. But with the proper care, this knife will just last a lifetime, and it's just a gorgeous piece of work and just a classic. So there you have the Konosuke Fujiyama Shidogami number 2 Nakiri 180mm knife.